Okay, hello everyone. Seems like we are live. Can you hear us and see us without any problems? It could be great if you comment in chat. I will wait a few more moments to make sure everyone is here. In the meantime, our listeners who are already here can tell us where are you listening from, which countries do we have today. I love it when we have different continents to share different experiences and obstacles we encountered. So feel free to use this chat. Also, questions are always welcome. So feel free to ask. If you stay with us, also you will be able to get a free discovery call, and I will share more details in the next couple of minutes. Firstly, I want to say that this is live event, meaning it will stay available on our LinkedIn profile through the whole event and after it. So you will be able to watch it as many times as you prefer. And also we will post it on our YouTube page, which is called BAT Office. So you can go and search there. I think we have some comment. Hello from Manik. Okay, that's great. Hello. Keep going. It means a lot. So this is pretty great. I love to have different comments. Great. You can keep going. Also one more thing, if you have any problems of technical nature, reach out to me to solve it as soon as possible, but I hope we won't have it for now. Okay, I hope for now that you gathered and that we can start. So hello once again. My name is Milica. Okay, we have one more comment. I have to say it. Hi from Pakistan. Okay, hi to Pakistan as well. Great. You can keep commenting while we are talking as well. And once again, to mention, feel free to ask questions. We are here to answer to all of your questions. That's why we speak and talk to this topic in the first place. So my name is Milica, and I'm a marketing manager at BAT, company specialized in e-commerce development. We use different technologies. We work with different retail branches and in different sides of the world. So if you have ever maybe imagined how one process looks like in one agency from the very beginning to the end, I will share how we do it at BAT. I hope you can see my screen. So in very first and our initial call or contact, we firstly try together to identify if we are fit. By that, I mean we try to understand your needs, but also problems you have or challenges you are facing. So basically, we want to have an answer to the question, are we the right partner for you? If it somehow turns out that we are the right partners for you, then we can move on to the next step, which is research and analysis, where we go deep down to your case. Proposals and agreement are the third step, and that's when we define project holders and do the fine tuning. Before any development, we go through design first, of course, and before everything goes live, we do testing with first results. The end of this process and the beginning of your sales triumph is in our last phase when we push everything live. After which, of course, you will have non-stop support throughout the whole process. So yeah, we are here to be really, really good partners and to help you with all obstacles you may encounter on that journey. Okay, so since we have described our process with retailers and other companies we work with, I would like to give you a chance to win a free discovery call. And all you have to do is to scan the QR code, and the rest you can see on the screen. Nothing special, nothing too much. When you scan the QR code, you just go to our Contact Us page, and you go type free discovery meeting in the field called your message. So that's basically it. And I just need to mention that the QR code will be in right corner once we start the event, and you will be able to scan it from time to time. Okay. I think that I did like the short introduction, and I don't want to take much of your time. So I basically want to tell one more thing, and that is because I didn't mention that we are really proud to be Salesforce partners for 7 years now, and to have dozens of Salesforce Commerce Cloud certified developers who are really masterminds in what they do. For that reason, today our topic is overcoming implementation challenges with Salesforce, and our guests are Vlad Stoika from Salesforce. He is Commerce Cloud expert. Hi, and Nikola Korica. He is our head of Salesforce Commerce Cloud development team at BAT. So I really think that we have real two persons who can answer to all of the questions. So that's why I said ask and you will get the answers. Okay, so guys, long time no see. We actually did the very first live event together, and today we are also together. How are you? Are you ready?
Thanks, Milica, for having us again, and thanks everyone for joining, especially Vlad. Glad to see you all in this meeting. So yeah, looking forward to have some conversation with how to work with Commerce Cloud.
Great. Great to hear that. Vlad, how are you?
All good, all good. Happy to be here. And as I like to say, every day is a perfect day to talk about e-commerce.
I can agree, definitely. I already told what is our today's topic. We are going to talk about the implementation challenges with Salesforce, and I think that we have implementation challenges with every single technology. So definitely with Salesforce as well. I would like to start with some like introduction to e-commerce landscape and importance of implementation. So my first question would be basically looking to the future of e-commerce. One thing is clear, evolution is here and we can like run from it. So let's understand in the first place the customer journey, actually the shopper and the buyer journey, what they buy, where, how they make purchases. What are some current e-commerce market trends? Who wants to start first?
I could go first.
Yeah,
I
please.
don't mind. I think there's a lot of things going on, especially with the whole AI conversation. I think that's on the minds of everyone. Actually, I attended a big retail event in Barcelona a week ago. There were about 2,000 people there, and this AI was on the minds of everybody. How to do AI properly, how to invest in AI, what's the roadmap to basically uh, using AI in terms of like generative AI. Yeah. And to be honest, I was quite surprised to see that only one person mentioned that to actually do good generative AI, you actually need to have a clean data. And I think this was so important because during the 3 day of these events, I heard some discussions about data, but I didn't hear that many discussions to say, okay, we need to clean up the data first in order to employ very good AI. I was also surprised to discuss to people that, you know, they know all the buzz around AI, but they're not familiar with what hallucinations or toxicity mean in the context of generative AI. So the toxicity refers to prompts that would contain 18 plus, words or details, as well as the hallucinations, which basically it means that the AI has prompted a result based on your data set that is actually not correct in real life. So there's a lot of buzz around AI, but there needs to be a more in-depth discussion about, let's say, the dangers of AIs or the traps of AIs, and how to actually get ready for this trend.
Okay, thank you. Nicola, what would you add to this? Vlad was straightforward to AI, which is definitely our one of our topics today and the buzzword we mention a lot. Would you add something else when we talk about this new trends?
Yeah, going back to the AI, because I think it was a buzzword last year and especially now. Like Apple just announced a bunch of AI stuff yesterday, and quite a lot of companies are doing the same thing. And I think this year is actually a year that AI actually becomes like more generally accepted, and maybe not so much a gimmick, but actual feature that most of people actually use on a daily basis. And yeah,
Mhm.
it's really fun to actually see that reflected in e-commerce, because technically we did have AI on e-commerce side for quite a while. Like we had Einstein product recommendation for years, but yeah, it's actually fun to watch those services being expanded and improved. So, for instance, basic product recommendation not only on like text data but also doing like a visual comparison of a product and basing decision if customer might like this on a way the product actually looks, and also adding AI to features that customers might not actually see. So, for instance, integrating content generation inside of CMS platform, images, or let's say helping customer service to reply to increase of customer requests and so on. So yeah, that's an interesting trend that we are seeing. So quite a lot of our customers have or are actually integrating some kind of AI into their system, either the one that's customer facing or the one that's being used internally inside of their organization. But besides the buzzword AI, we still see quite a lot of channels merging into one. So shopping across multiple channels is still a thing. You have like retail stores, you have web or ecom, but on web you also have Instagram, you have TikTok, you have like direct links to buy. So integrating all of those things is quite an important, and something that we also noticed post COVID was actually trying to launch some kind of subscription service. So I think for business it's quite good because you can obviously have a bit of stable revenue coming in, but also for brand perspective, I think it builds quite a strong relationship with a brand. So for instance, if you are like in pharmacy market, for one of our clients, we built a baby box where you could like receive a monthly supply of baby products, so diapers, creams, and whatnot, to help out parents not to worry about running out of stuff on a monthly basis. So those are some kind of trends we are seeing. For other clients, for instance, the ones in like candy industry, they also launched a subscription box where you have yeah, monthly dose of sweets coming to your doorstep, which is super nice. So yeah, that's also a trend that quite a lot of brands are now trying to add.
Great. All of the insights you shared with us were really great. I must add, as someone who works in marketing part of the business, that the content creation, that omnichannel is a real thing. That sometimes. I mean, not sometimes, but every day, people, if they do not buy from every channel, they will search for information in one channel and buy on another. So you need to be present everywhere. So that's definitely something that will especially take place in the future. And that's where AI can help as well, because it will reduce the time consuming and everything in order to work smoothly, and that your customers actually have great experience. So it's not basically just to the physical store or just to e-commerce. It's like everything in one. Um, so yeah, definitely. Okay, so thank you guys once again. And my another question would be, in which direction do you think e-commerce will continue developing? So do you think that AI will continue in that direction? Do you think there is something else maybe recognized as some new, I don't know, what do you think?
I think AI is definitely here to stay. So yeah, as I mentioned, it's really fun to see it being implemented in other systems. So for instance, fraud prevention or detection that can also be boosted by AI. mentioned content generation, translations, whatnot. So I think the options are unlimited. It's just about creativity and how to use it. So yeah, I think the AI is the key, at least for this year. Next year, we'll see.
Okay, great. Vlad, I saw that you're ready to answer.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I think from multiple discussions with retailers in particular, I keep hearing the word of simplification. Simplifying the business operation, simplifying their tech stack, simplifying everything. But at the same time, I hear them speak about composable commerce and choosing the best of breed for their system architecture. So the challenge is how can you build a system where you choose the best of breed, from different companies, but also make it build it in a very simple way that allows for agility and, let's say, easy integration, easy execution, not overcomplicate things for your internal teams, and as well for the maintenance of a tech stack over time. Not to put too much stress on the IT. So I think the AI should be helping out with more of this side. Although you need to have a very very good plan on how to integrate this AI and not to overburden your IT stack, and continuing this idea of simplification.
Yeah, definitely. But everything seems so easy when we talk about it, right? But from a perspective of one retailer, one huge system that already has so many things to do, and a lot of things will have some consequences if something goes wrong with the e-commerce and development and implementation. So let's now understand the other side of the medal, how all those processes look like for companies who try their best to meet the needs of customers. So my first question would be, what is the most important factor influencing the decision of which technology companies should use when it comes to e-commerce? For example, from the number of items they have, are they just getting started, or are they already making serious profits through e-commerce? What would be your advice for those kind of companies that actually do have questions?
What do you want to go first, or should I go?
Yeah,
Uh,
please.
Go for it.
Oh yeah. So I think when choosing a technology stack, most companies should look for a platform that supports most of their features out of the box, which obviously reduces time launching to the market as well as cost, but also looking into a future where the platform is flexible enough that new features are easily added or additional markets are added per need. So finding that sweet spot between like meeting the current requirements, but also being feature proof with new ones. And yeah, with Commerce Cloud, I think that's quite easy. Platform is built in a cloud, regularly updated by Salesforce. So like you have partner that's constantly investing in the platform. So you should be good to go in the future. Also, when looking for a platform, you also need to think about cost of ownership. So launching the platform, but also maintaining it. If you implement quite a lot of uh, different systems working together, that can cause a bit of issues. But it can also put a big burden on your internal teams to maintaining those platforms. Usually, those platforms are run by multiple agencies or vendors, so like aligning all of them to implement something or fix them is usually quite a challenge.
So you
So,
suggest that everything goes with one platform. When it comes, but okay, I understand that. But what would you say? Does it that depends on the how big retailer is, or
yeah, so like not everything will fit every customer. So not everything that Salesforce does or produce will fit a certain customer. So in some cases, you will have to implement another system.
Mhm.
That's just the reality. But yeah, when doing that, be cautious. Like, uh, is the investment in a new system uh, worth it? Because you'll have probably another supplier working on it. So managing all of those suppliers, from my experience, can be quite challenging for consumers or for actually clients.
Okay, okay. I bet you actually talk from your experience, so I don't assume at all. Vlad, I want to hear you because I mean, Salesforce is such a huge company and such a huge platform. So, what is your opinion on the topic?
One of our mottos is that every company is a e-commerce company. So I don't see any limits in that sense for industry or even sometimes size of the company. It all depends on the ambitions, and I would say you need to think in a strategic way and work your way back to where you want to be in 5 years from now. If
Mm-hmm.
you're going to continue to be a local player and address the same segment, not expand in any shape or form your product base, then is it worth how much is it worth improving your system? If you want to go international, if you want to conquer new markets, if you're going to launch new businesses, which is very common with e-commerce groups, then you need to really consider what Nicola has said. Having a platform that has a tons of out of the box features. I always love to say that with Salesforce, any intern or apprentice, they can learn how to manage a website in less than a month. It's so easy and intuitive to use the clicks and no code to create content, to create promotions, to manage customer groups. All of this is just with clicks and code. And for projects, especially like long term, 5 years from now, imagine the iceberg. We always see just the top of the top of the iceberg. That's the obvious cost, and then you have a huge, massive block of ice hiding under the water. That actually the whole iceberg is your total cost of ownership. So, when
Oh
you
yeah.
are considering the digital transformation, you need to consider the implementation cost and maintenance for the few years. You need to take into account the license costs from Salesforce for the other third party. You need to understand how all of this is going to work together, integrated, and what are the results that you are expecting from this. You're not going to implement a specific an additional vendor just because it might get you some boost to conversion rate, for example. You have to have some strong mathematics, let's say, behind it. And
I'm bad at mathematics, but okay.
yeah, well, and yeah, to also design, let's say, the architecture, you need to look at some sort of like retail capabilities. The e-commerce is not just the platform; it's also marketing cloud, it's also service cloud, it's also a loyalty management system, and all of this combined create, let's say, greatness for a brand to succeed in e-commerce. So it's not just this is the e-commerce part from the e-commerce experience. So that's how I think about it.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. That's why Nicola told us that he always prefers and he thinks it's the best to have everything at one platform, um, which it is really important not to have different tools, especially if we are talking about the huge systems and huge retailers. Okay, great, guys. I would now like to go a bit through complexities involved in customizing Salesforce solutions. So, what are some complexities when we are talking about the customizing Salesforce solutions to meet the unique needs of e-commerce businesses? Maybe Vlad to continue, and then we will move to Nicola.
Yeah, absolutely. Not a lot of people know that we've been doing headless commerce for quite some time now, and we have different options for the front end. So when you're considering what to use, how to avoid some of these, let's say, complexities, um, you need to figure out what you're going to do for the front end. And we have three options right now. We call it SFRA, storefront reference architecture, which are the templates from Salesforce, easy to use, proven, optimized for mobile, and so on. Then you will have the PWA kit, or as we refer to it, composable commerce. So we give you a PWA kit and managed runtime, which are basically some better templates that are faster, and they, as the title say, they work close to like how apps work. And then the third one is just bringing your own front end. So you would have to either build it from scratch or use one of our vendor partners. Now, how to avoid complexity? You need to understand that we have these options and you can choose either of these options. We have people that have been trying to do full headless commerce, thinking that this is going to bring some sort of speed improvements and a lot more, let's say, freedom to manage your e-commerce. But the trouble with that is, it's a English saying, you're trying to boil the ocean sometimes. Now, again, what some people might not know is that you can actually start with the Salesforce templates that are proven to work and slowly migrate step by step to a composable future. So you're not putting pressure on your IT teams to deliver, you're not stopping your website, you continue to offer a great experience to your clients. So really, really understanding what we have to offer and how to manage a step by step plan, I think it's very, very important.
Okay, great. That was pretty cool, to be honest, and to explain some things. Nicola, maybe you would like to tell us also more because you're a developer. So it's always interesting to hear different perspectives.
Yeah, so I would add on top of what Vlad said, choosing between three versions of Commerce Cloud is now a bit challenging. Not every organization is actually a fit for composable. Composable, yeah, fixes a big issue, but not many customers actually have that issue to begin with. So it might be not the best decision because it, as Vlad said, it could put quite a lot of strain on your IT systems. But from like maybe more technical side, I think for large retailers, complexity lies into customizing the storefront for specific markets. So if you have a global e-shop, you probably are selling your products in US, in Europe, in Asia, and whatnot. And every market has its own unique characteristics. Is it like a specific shipping method? Is it like a specific payment method, or like a GDPR requirement or any other legal requirement? So aligning all of those markets, yeah, it's a challenge sometimes, if I can put it that way.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you for being honest and sharing with us. But can you tell us, for example, more about the common challenges that businesses face when integrating Salesforce with some existing e-commerce platforms, ERP systems, and third-party applications? That would be something I think people ask a lot, and we should give some answer now. And Nicola, maybe you to continue. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So, like with most of third parties integration, a part of the problem is data flow. So each system has its own format in which the data is stored. So creating that mapping between Salesforce systems and other third-party systems uh, takes a long time, and it's quite challenging. The second thing is actually data synchronization between the systems. So everyone wants to have all of data in real time, but occasionally that's simply not practical because it could slow down the system. So for instance, if you're browsing the website, uh, quite a lot of customers want to have real time tracking of a customer saying, hey, this is a returning customer, it's a new customer, but pushing that data in real time can slow the website. So it's a bit of finding the balance between having the features that business wants, but also having a user experience that's actually blazing fast. And the third one, which is what something I already mentioned, is actually aligning all of the suppliers. For big retailers, there's usually a middle layer or middleware that's orchestrating all of the systems working together. So for clients, that's usually a breaking point where challenges arise because, yeah, you usually need to align multiple vendors on the same thing, which can happen that not everyone understands the same thing the same way. So yeah, the communication is key. Careful planning and communications are team-based strategy for a successful project.
Okay, great. Vlad, what would you add?
I think Nicola made some really good points. Most of our clients have, integrated with the major ERP systems out there, SAP, Microsoft, etc. I think in any case, the ERPs are quite unique. I would like to call out that for some, well, the reason is clear. Some of the clients have been using the ERP as an order management system. So when it comes to integrating, let's say, Salesforce with the ERP, they usually also want to integrate this order management custom-made component. Sometimes, if it's built right on APIs, maybe that's not going to be a huge effort, but majority of the times we also recommend that clients have a look at our order management, which is already pre-integrated with our e-commerce system. So you kind of take away a custom built component where that was built in the ERP and it shouldn't have been built there. I see that an order management system should operate as an independent system, let's say. So that's one, and for the rest, maybe two other points. We have the app exchange market, as we call it, where third-party vendors such as PIMs, payment providers, warehouse management systems, they've already built cartridges that you can plug and play into commerce. As well as for, let's say, maybe for heavier integrations, we have MuleSoft, part of the Salesforce ecosystem, that actually has a retail accelerator. Kind of helps out customers in retail to connect their systems to the Salesforce stack and also in between them. So this is the middleware solution that Nicola was talking about.
Okay, so you two just are adding things. A lot of things actually we do have here. Can we? I would like to hear from Nicola because he works on that development part. How do you prioritize integration efforts and determine the sequence of integrations to minimize disruption to business operations?
That's a good question, and yeah, we do that with careful planning with the clients.
So sorry for interrupting. Client is included in that part.
Definitely, they're actually the ones leading the project because yeah, they know best how their business is operating. So we are there to help, but in the end, it's for them to actually guide that transformation. So yeah, with the client careful planning, we scope the work that needs to be done. So it's basically like building a house. It would be nice to have a pool when you move to the new house, but ideally, first you need to build a solid foundation, then the roof, and then once that house generates quite a lot of revenue, you'll be able to invest money into like adding that pool. So I think that's a great comparison.
Vlad is approving. He's just like, yeah.
Yeah, so we mentioned RP a couple of moments ago. So most of systems that are managing products usually have some kind of product structure or categorization inside of ERP. So ideally, it would be great to move that rules into Commerce Cloud, into your e-commerce platform. It can usually be done, but it's important to ask like a question: do you really need it at the start? Because if you're a small, client or company that's just starting the e-commerce journey, or you're a brand that doesn't have that many products or product assortment changes, then it might not be wise actually to invest into that integration from the start. You can easily add it later, but yeah, it might be good to, let's say, invest in a different payment method because yeah, Apple Pay, Google Pay, those are becoming more and more popular because it speeds up the checkout. So yeah, we have quite a lot of data in what's actually working because when you work in e-commerce, you get to work with quite a lot of big brands. So you have like a large data of a pool of data where you can pull the information. So with careful planning, both on client side and on the integration side, uh, it's quite easy to actually make a decision what goes in first, what goes last.
Okay, great. Vlad, you want to add something? I have another question for you, but you can add, of course.
To be honest, in a nutshell, you need to prioritize your the profit centers, whatever is making the business money. And if you're thinking about the context of e-commerce, you need to prioritize stuff that will increase your conversion rate, that will increase your average order value, and so on. Obviously, there are integrations that you will never be able to, let's say, postpone. So not the pool. The pool is, I would say, maybe in some cases is, you just need to phase it out till you get to the pool, just like Nicola said. But for for the beginning, you might have some integrations, but I would always prioritize profit centers, so anything that would create money.
That's what I'm talking about. You're account executive, and we have developers. So I really do enjoy when we talk and hear different perspectives. But definitely, yeah, companies work to achieve more and more profits. So that's something that is in the probably some of the first places. So yeah. Okay, but I have another question, and I want to know what are the limitations and considerations businesses should be aware of when using APIs for integrating Salesforce with other systems. Who wants? Yeah, please.
I can,
I think I can have a short answer, and then I'll let Nicola's more technical specialist speak. I think the number one consideration is to double check if not, there's already some sort of cartridge. So if the integration is not done already, and just to leverage that, because in a lot of cases, I actually noticed that it's been done before, in a specific way, and you don't need to reinvent the wheel. But that's a very tiny addition. I'll let Nicola describe this better.
Yeah, so from technical point of view, I think as all of Salesforce products, it runs in the cloud. So there's really no worrying about downtime. I've been doing Salesforce for the last 8 years. I only remember Salesforce going down once in that 8 years, and it was due to Cloudflare, which also took down half of the internet with it. So yeah, I think it proves how stable the platform is and what Salesforce does. So when building integrations, you need to keep in mind the limits that Salesforce imposes on its customers. That's the way Salesforce actually protects its platform, because platform is used by multiple clients and it runs in the cloud. So when designing the system, you need to be careful to use those limits wisely. Those limits are quite big, meaning large organizations should have plenty of wiggle room to never actually reach those limits, but in some cases they do, which does require like a creative solution on the technical part to how to actually solve the issues. So for instance, we mentioned having real-time data always available, but yeah, in some cases that's simply not possible, even due to limits of the platform itself, either Salesforce or any other, or doing that in real time would actually slow down the page speed for customers. So it's a bit of weighing those pros and cons and deciding what the best solution is.
Okay, great. Thank you. Always really important question every retailer asks is addressing compliance requirements such as GDPR. Can you tell us more about it? How do you actually address it?
I can go with this one again. This is a joint effort between the implementation partner, Salesforce, and also the client themselves. So when the project is actually scoped, legal requirements such as GDPR are actually included in the scoping. So every feature that's being implemented or designed is actually it needs to be GDPR compliant from the start.
Mm-hmm.
So when it's designed, it needs to be GDPR compliant. When it's being implemented, it needs to follow those rules. But also before the integration is actually approved and pushed to production, it also needs to pass validations from Salesforce, meaning there's additional checks that the GDPR requirements are met. So it's fairly simple process. As it's a joint effort, again, Salesforce has a lot of customers we have a lot of customers. There's like basically a cheat sheet of all the requirements you need to meet. So yeah, it's fairly easy, to be honest, on our side.
Okay, great. Vlad, I saw you are ready to add something.
Yeah, absolutely. So everything perfect from Nicola. I just wanted to maybe draw some attention on some of the changes, upcoming changes from the European Union legislation about the Web Accessibility Act. So next summer, I think all of the websites need to be ready with the new accessibility standards, which are very similar to what's being used in the US. So, to give you a specific example, people that are colorblind that cannot distinguish red from green. So, if you are using a palette color that is red and green altogether, then this might make it harder for a person that is colorblind to really understand what's happening on your website. That's one simple example, but there are many, many others that just a heads up, you need to be compliant by the summer of next year.
That's actually really great from you. So yeah, everyone who actually listens right now or will be listening later on, this is really a good point if they haven't heard yet about it.
Yeah, and definitely, if you haven't, I think you should start working on it right away because it's quite a long project. It's not only on the technical side, but it's also how you actually manage your organization. So what Vlad mentioned is that site needs to be accessible, which also requires a bit of change on how you actually do the content. So for instance, if you add an image, if a person cannot see the image, you need to add a context that's accessible by screen reader to actually explain what's shown in the image. And yeah, that needs to be included in your content process, how you actually create and publish content. So there's quite a lot of work needed to make the site fully accessible.
This one is also important for marketing teams. So I'm listening carefully for graphic designers as well. So for everyone who is listening. Vlad, yeah, you wanted to add something. Please do.
No, nothing else. Just that you can see that you can definitely see that BIT is already handling this for some of their clients. So it's good to give them a call, scan the QR code, and make sure that you are ready.
Oh, nice. Very nice from you. Let's go. Okay,
Okay.
great. Thank you so much. I can agree with that. Those compliments are for Nicola and his team.
My
Um, okay, so one question for you, Vlad, is does Salesforce plan to enter the small and mid market and compete with other competitors?
I think we were discussing in the past that Salesforce can take care of any company, any business, any industry, etc., any size. So I don't think this is just a limitation. Obviously, you need to take into consideration the costs, your revenue, the total cost of ownership, as we discussed. But I don't see that Salesforce is just for a specific set of clients or another set of clients. Everyone that wants to develop an e-commerce business, they should take Salesforce into consideration. We are leader in e-commerce for 8 years in a row, as named by Gartner, and we are there for a reason.
Okay, so actually, no excuses. Generating profit and implementing Salesforce, that's what you do if you want the final success. Yeah, okay, I can definitely agree with that. And we have 15 more minutes, and I would like to have maybe some Q&A if anyone from our listeners have some question, feel free to type in chat so we can answer them later on. Do you have some tips to share with us for managing complexities during the implementation process? So let's go to the tips and tricks. Maybe Nicola would like to tell us something about it.
Yeah, sure. So when implementing a difficult feature, always try to divide it into a smaller subset of features, and yeah, go that route. Like that complex feature or redesign of PLP does not necessarily need to go live all at once. So yeah, if possible, try to divide it into a smaller chunks of work. That way, it's easily be manageable and yeah, easier to maintain and deploy to production.
Okay,
I
useful. Vlad?
I can only echo what Nicola has said, and I'll be very honest that the majority of the times when I saw that e-commerce project is let's say maybe delayed is because the design work is not ready, or the plan is changing because maybe there was one or two features that weren't taken into consideration from the beginning. So as Nicola was saying, it's all about planning, and the best plan that you can build with BIT, for example, is to have the project goals very clear, to ensure you have a very clear list of the futures, to have an idea what the minimum lovable product is, and basically take it in a step-by-step approach. And as I said, like design work, I've always seen challenges there, right? Brands wanting to potentially repurpose what they have, but last minute changing the color palette, or maybe the sizes of the content slots and so on. So this could be challenging.
Okay, great. And I would like to maybe talk just like a few minutes about the correlation between, let's say, seamless implementation, if that's even possible, and increased sales and customer satisfaction. So, how does a well executed implementation impact the overall customer experience? Nicola, let's go with you.
Well, we already mentioned this, but I think the e-commerce journey starts long before customers actually visit the website. So it's creative marketing that's actually pulling the customers.
Mm-hmm.
And when those customers actually land on the website, it needs to be frictionless. So customers should not have any like reasons to jump out or scream why the website is not working. And when they actually complete the purchase, yeah, the post-purchase part is equally important. So if anything goes wrong with your product or order, customers would like to be informed about it, or have an easily accessible way to actually act upon that. So for instance, it might be good to have like an exchange or a return portal, because if I order something online, I definitely don't want to go in a store to like return it, or having to call like a shipping company to send a packet to pick up the package on my own. I would like to do that like with one click in like my account portal. So yeah, that journey needs to be frictionless, because yeah, I think if customers are not complaining, then most of stuff is actually working just fine.
Okay. And what about, I mean, what if someone doesn't actually buy anything? I'm just jumping on to see what they have, if they have something new, just to get information and actually want to buy in a store. Do you think that bad integration, if, I don't know, the e-commerce site is pure or something like that, would distract me from purchasing in physical store as well?
Well, like purchasing decision not only depends on the e-commerce platform or solution, it also depends on the product itself. So if you are having good products, customers are likely to buy it. But obviously, like with recession and everything, price also plays a big important role in purchasing decisions. So yeah, it's mix of having good e-commerce, having good products, and also being like accessible to most of the users. So it's a mix of everything. So e-commerce solution, yeah, if you have bad products, then state of art e-commerce solution I think won't help you actually bring sales, because you might sell it, but you also have a bunch of returns, which yeah is not good.
Yeah, but I would definitely add one thing because I think we don't talk about it much. Your e-commerce platform and shop is actually your only salesperson that works 24/7. So I mean, if I can sleep, it's 2 a.m. I will go and like scrolling around your store, right? There is no salesperson from your side other than your e-commerce side. So definitely, I think it's really important for people to have, even if you don't want to buy it there, but you want like some information, you want people to turn back and to like come again to your site, then you need to have like fast shop and everything to go like seamless, right? Vlad, you wanted to add something, but I interrupted you.
It's absolutely no problem. So first, what Nicola said, the post-purchase experience is extremely important. You can sell as much as you want, but if you're having issues in taking returns or taking cancellations, and then you are losing the trust of the customer, they're going to move to somewhere else. Plus, the creating loyalty is harder and harder. There's no loyalty. It's majority of the loyalty is towards the lower price. But there are exceptions to that when customers offer experiences that are on top of even if the price is higher. But if you have the right experiences, then you might convince the customer. I'll give you a very simple example. When you have, for example, if you're buying a TV, you might find it in 3 different places at different prices, but one of these will offer no questions asked insurance. Okay, so if in the next year something bad happened with your TV, your child accidentally, pushed it, knocked it off, there's no question. They will just take it, repair it, or replace it. There's no question asked. That's an experience that creates loyalty. I trust, and I will pay extra to ensure that I benefit from that. Obviously, there are limitations, so you can redeem this one time, let's say one time per year in the insurance window if it's an accidental situation, or if it's a defect from the manufacturer, then obviously it can be covered multiple times. In addition to all of this, Milza, you made a really good point. E-commerce is a non-stop profit center. The e-commerce never sleeps. And this is why we're investing so much to bring conversational bots. We call it commerce concierge for our clients and for our shoppers. Effectively, you can start a chat window and discuss with a bot, and the bot can advise you on what to buy. So I'm going on a trip, on a hike. What kind of boots do you recommend? And the bot can also check the product catalog, do some recommendations. They can check the color, the size, if it's something that it's, let's say, for winter boots or summer boots. So all of these attributes. And it was very funny at this last conference. A customer in the UK, a large retailer of electronics in the UK, they did some sort of surveys to see in their customer service who kind of appears more humane, more empathetic. And they were very surprised to see that it wasn't the humans that actually were rated as more empathetic. It was the chatbots using generative AI that were deemed as more empathetic to the issue of the customer. So there you go. How AI can actually surpass the customer journey experience that you would usually have with a person.
That's actually great. I think I need one chatbot to tell me, stop buying all those dresses. You have it enough. I really think I need that one. That's great. Thank you, Vlad, for mentioning it. So we have a few more minutes before an end. I would really like to get an answer to I mean, Salesforce is really covering the whole world. And I know that you opened an office in United Arab Emirates, right, a few months ago because of the new clients. And is there something else you would like to discover for us, some future plans, maybe some other markets? What do you think?
So I think you're right. We are a global company, and opening this office in Dubai has actually been, I would say, a huge success. We are closer to our customers and to a very important strategic market for us. In other markets where we don't have an office, we work through trusted partners such as yourselves, BIT. And I think from that side of things, I don't foresee any big surprises. But I think from the product side of things, we are doubling down on what we can do with generative AI and in particular data cloud. It's something that I think the entire Salesforce has been training on the last 2 years. So everybody's an expert in AI, and in particular, how to describe what this data cloud does and how it can help businesses.
Yeah, I know we were talking about I will discover you and I when we prepared the event, and you were like, everyone needs to have at least 2 AI experts because people are always asking questions. And you were like,
100% I advise it, and you can anybody can take the training on Data Cloud on the Trailhead platform. It's free to use from Salesforce, and I think it makes such a huge difference to learn from us.
definitely, definitely. I would definitely agree with that. And for Nicola, one more question, but I think we already covered that at the beginning, but let's cover it again. Nicola, what do you think are some future e-commerce trends and innovations waiting for us, maybe on our market, Adriatic region?
So yeah, it's actually helping brands that do not have e-commerce because we are a bit behind most of the markets. So having them on like a stable e-commerce platform that actually can grow, I think that's something that most brands are striving for. But for bigger brands for which we actually work, as Vlad mentioned, I think the composable commerce is quite interesting. For big brands, I think, that's a really interesting solution to look into it and see if the organization is able to cope with it. Is it actually worth investing and trying it out? So yeah, me and my team are actually quite looking into working with composable storefront in future a bit more than what we are currently doing.
Okay, great. Vlad, would you add something else, maybe?
No, I think we kind of covered everything we wanted to do. I am excited to see how e-commerce is going to transform. I still, I'm a strong believer in this live shopping, that this is going to grow more and more. I can see the different brands looking more closely to how they are utilizing data. There's so much data. There's huge data lakes, and they're not being cleaned up. They're not being used as they should. And to be honest, you cannot talk about effectively using AI without having a very solid foundation, leveraging data from all of your sources, a clean data. That's my message. Look at the data, chase the data, make sure that all of it is very well organized.
And get your AI experts within the team.
Correct.
Okay, that's great. Well, okay, if we don't have any questions in the comment, I would say that we come to an end. So I would like to tell everyone thank you for watching. As I previously mentioned, this live event will be saved on our LinkedIn profile and our YouTube channel as well. Before we actually jump out of this live event, I would like to share once again this picture and to tell you that you have a chance to win a free discovery meeting. Only need to scan the QR code you can see on the screen and type free discovery meeting in the field called your message. So if you actually see this event 2 weeks after this event, there is no more opportunity to win free discovery meeting. So it was only for now. So use this opportunity, and we will reach out to you and have it, of course. Okay, then I think we really had such amazing event. and we will definitely have more of them in the future. Probably Vlad will be with me again because Vlad is really, really great speaker and he loves this. And I'm pretty happy when someone loves to do live events. Nicola as well, I must tell, not an introvert, but developer. Imagine that. So really great, great speakers, both of you. Thank you guys once again, and thanks everyone for watching.
Thank you for hosting,
Thank you,
Milica.
Tim, and thank you for being a great host, Milica.
Thank you guys. Until next time. Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.